Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. So you think that the narcissist is happier now. A lot of the things that they post on social media, they tell you about this wonderful new supply that they have. They're not crying over you or looking back or missing you. How does this happen after you had this really long relationship with them and it's just instantly over? You go through your struggles and then it's not even a heartfelt goodbye. A lot of times it's ghosting or silent treatment. They just move on. They do that quickly. They find the love of their life, somebody that they can't live without all of a sudden after being in this deep relationship. So they seem happy. They're going on all these trips. They're in the middle of that love bombing stage. Everything seems like a fairy tale romance. And you're looking from the outside. But inside, they're still going through the same discard is going to start quickly. Same type of issues are going to come up that they had with you. They're not going to communicate the right way. The new supply isn't seeing the red flags yet. So they're going through the motions of the love bombing stage. They're your ex is trying to hold on a little bit tighter, secure it a little bit quicker. So they're doing a little bit more extravagant. They're probably further on in life to where they might have a little bit more money saved. Or maybe they are a little bit hurt to where, they want to squash their feelings. It's just like with a narcissist, they just live in the moment. They really honestly live in the moment. They don't look at the past. They really don't even look at the future. They'll give future faking, but they don't look at the commitments that they've made. We'll talk about marriage in a minute, but they seem happier. And they're putting it in everybody's face. The big, huge smiles, everything just seems totally perfect. But it's kind of like if you were to go to a concert tonight, you just get lost in the emotions, the great music, the feeling, and letting out your energy, singing along or dancing and just having the best time. The light shows and everything is just fantastic. You're caught in that moment. You had a great time. But let's say you go back home and maybe you're starting to miss your ex, or 2 weeks ago you had a family member die, so you're kind of on a low again. But during that concert, life was perfect. You got lost in it. And that's what your narcissist is doing, is they're just getting lost in that moment with the new supply, because there is no baggage with that new supply. So they're able to just delve into it, enjoy it, but they're not connecting with that person. And that's where the emptiness continues for the narcissist, and they need to fill that void. So they're going to start taking from the person that's closest to them. A lot of times, sometimes we do take our families for granted. If we have a bad day, we might snap at them. We might, I don't know, take advantage of certain things just because we know that they're there. We're kind of self-absorbed when we're sick sometimes. We're not always conscious. Sometimes, people do have certain narcissistic traits. There's 5 out of 9 traits that you have to be an actual narcissist. And to be diagnosed with NPD, it has to affect your life in some way. But the narcissist seems happy. But are they truly happy when they're empty inside? They're caught in a moment, just like at that concert. That time will be great. That time will be wonderful. But back to reality. And the narcissist does not like reality, because things go wrong in reality. Things take effort in reality. You have to work around people in reality. And the narcissists can't stand it because they are just concerned about themselves. So when they seem really happy, it's because they're in that concert stage, the love bombing stage, to where there is no baggage. They're not worrying about the future. They're just getting caught up in the moment. But when they have to start possibly committing, like a full commitment, it's going to make them unsettled, because then they have to think about the other person. So I said we talk about marriage. When they do decide to get married, it's to secure a supply. It's not because they're in love. I had told you my ex had said he doesn't love like other people do. He's never been in love. They don't know what love is. There are different kinds of loves, but in a relationship, it's a connection. And that is what is so fulfilling, so comforting. everything you want in life, because it does, it kind of gives us the comfort too. We talk a lot about the childhood state, to where, it is nice that mom or dad took care of us and they snuggled with us and pretty much our needs were met. We were fed, we were clothed, we were cared for, we were reminded to do certain things. And that's what the narcissist kind of wants. And we do too. That was probably the most comfortable stage of our life. And we kind of want to create that when we're in a relationship, is that just that safety net, like somebody's always there for us. And so we want to provide that too, but the narcissist doesn't want to provide it back. They're only in it for the one-sided, give me what you'll give me. But we're in it like, I'll take care of you, you take care of me, it all works out. And that's how it should be. Because if you think about it, if I was to take care of their needs and they were to take care of mine, we're both happy. We're both fed and clothed and loved and snuggled, and everything works out. But if we're both taking care of our own needs, there's no connection, there's no cross. Like, doesn't that kind of look like a heart? I write on my hand. But they seem happier, but their soul is still empty, and they will destroy absolutely everything that they have built. They don't even realize what they're doing. The new supply doesn't even realize it, because they're caught up in that concert moment. They don't know what's going on back at home. The house could be being robbed or on fire, or they don't know what's going on in reality, because they're looking here, but there's destruction behind them. And once they get into that pattern of a true relationship, the narcissist starts to get unsettled. They always feel like, what's the next step? Like, that was great, we got married. What's the next step? Okay, we have to have a baby, a second one. Now what do we do now? We got to get a bigger house. They're always going to be unsettled. They're not the type to take any steps backwards, whether it's on how you look or getting a smaller house. Like, a lot of them are just about image, or about how people perceive them. So they'll go through great lengths to create a facade, whether it's wealth or status. They'll boast on things that are not always true. They'll try to get the best of the best. A lot of them do like quality, buy higher dollar things, in my opinion, from the ones I've seen, that they kind of want to show off. They don't want to have the small house in the neighborhood. They want to have the large house. They want to compete with the neighbors. They want to be basically the best of the best. If they have a reality to where that cannot be achieved, then they'll go the opposite way, where it's like, oh, screw it, and they'll do the, I feel so sorry for myself, I can't afford this, and this is the crap I have. And they'll either get caught in one or the other situations. But narcissists are empty inside, to where their relationship with the new supply is just in that cycle. Narcissists have a true cycle. I'd like you guys to comment if you saw that, how the rotations worked. Was it pretty much once a day or once a year, or was it during every Christmas things started to fall apart? Narcissists seem happier because they put it in your face. They put it on your face on Facebook, or they make sure that they do certain activities so they can be seen. They, public displays of affection. They're trying to show people what they don't really have, but what they want. The new supply eats it up, feels it. It feels real. Somebody holds you or kisses you or snuggles with you, holds your hand. It feels really good. But that narcissist, when they take your hand, it's not to be loving. It's to show people that they own you. And they're very possessive. They can be jealous. They kind of compete with you, whether you said something and the attention was on you at an activity. They're going to cut it down. So you felt good about yourself that day, just like the narcissist or the new supply is going to feel good. But they're going to go through the same patterns that you went through with the narcissist. That narcissist cannot enjoy what they have at the true value of what it is. So let's say it is a really good new supply. They're just going to take advantage of it, just like a child with a toy. They leave it outside. They forget to put it away. They leave it jumbled up and pieces go missing. That's what the narcissist is with their new supply. They're just taking advantage of it, just like a child would. But they're dealing with emotions, people's emotions. The new supply is probably a decent person, just like I'm sure you're a decent person. And they are just destroying everybody in their path. So now they're destroying your extended family, your friends, the new supplies, their whole network of whoever was in their life is going to start to leave being around them. So as they get older, you know, they're going to look back in their life. They're going to see what they had with you, with the extended circle of friends and family, the new supply circle of friends and family. There's probably going to be another new supply after that. They could have, you know, had relationships and held on and built a network of friends, you know, but they don't even process that. It's like, what do I get? What do I get? And then they'll get mad at you. So they'll turn everybody against you. And then people sometimes will see through what this narcissist is doing and not want to be around that person, or they'll see how horrible they were. A lot of times, this is where it gets tricky though, is a lot of people believe the narcissist because they are so good with their word salads. They play the victim so well. Sometimes too, like when I was going through my custody battles, when he was playing the victim, it was like kind of embarrassing for him, but people are like believing it. I had our daughter give him banana nut bread for Christmas, and he was saying how sexually threatened he felt over that, and how inappropriate it was. He weighed 100 pounds more than me. He was a cop, so he carried a weapon, knew pressure points, could bench 550 pounds. And we've never been in a physical fight, and he felt threatened by me. This guy could take me down in a second. And people are like, oh, wow, she must be crazy. She gave you she had the daughter give you banana nut bread. I can see why you were sexually threatened. He talks about it for 2.5 hours to convince people of just how crazy I was. And luckily the judge saw through it, but like not everybody did. They're like, wow, she had no right to do that. And it's like, I was trying to do the right thing, have our daughter give him something. How happy could he really be if he couldn't accept the gift from our daughter, or I don't know, even just take it as a ego stroke, even if I did still want him. But like banana nut bread, was he ticked I didn't try to love bomb him more or try to hoover back more? Their skewed thoughts to even say that if you were seriously that big and bold physically, with a loaded weapon all the time, they go to great extremes to show that they're the victim. They'll do that to show how happy they are too. Was he a victim? He was not a victim. Just like your narcissist right now, are they really happy? No, they're just proclaiming that they are, just like he proclaimed he was a victim. They just proclaim whatever they want the outside to see, whatever they think would suit their needs. So my ex needed to seem like a victim and I was crazy. So he went to like ridiculous, you know, I had 59 police reports against me that never involved alcohol, violence, or drugs. They were retardedly ridiculous. And just, you know, I tried giving him a supply package for the summer, so the daughter could be taken care of, where he didn't have to return anything. And he played the victim on that, and I got a police report against me. And the police are taking this down, as opposed to even trying to redirect, like, dude, this is just the supplies for the kid. So he's getting all these people on his track when supposedly he should be happy. He's dating somebody new. She was running for Miss Michigan. Like everything has to be something for people to be jealous about. That fell apart too. That was the second engagement he backed out on. Are they really happier? He ended up going on into, I think it was a 19-year relationship, something like that. 13 and 19. It's hard to tell. I can't remember. It's probably 19, but that fell apart too, because, when we were together, he was like, it'd be too easy to fall into a relationship and then you get 3/4 of what I own. Everything's about them. Like, I don't want to get married because I could risk having, like, this was just talking in the beginning stages over going on a movie date. And they're so consumed about what am I going to lose? And we weren't even at that stage of talking about even being exclusive. They don't get caught up in the happiness of just enjoying time. Like, why can't we go to the movies? Oh, that'd be great. It's like, no, then I might have to give you something. Or I might be tempted to have a relationship with you where I have to give something up. So we were getting along, we were dating, it was nice. We had great conversation, but deep in his heart, he didn't get caught up in the magic of the moment. Or the magic of, a really good dating relationship. It was an inner fear that they have to give something up. And that's exactly what's going on with the new supply. They're caught at that concert stage. Everything seems great, but as soon as they're like, whoa, do I have to give something up? Do I have to compromise? Do I have to listen to you? Do I have to go above and beyond? That's when the devaluation stage starts, and it can go quickly sometimes. Some of you wonder how long this person's going to stay with the new supply. Sometimes they do stay lifelong. It's because of the trauma bond. Or they'll line up a new supply. It just depends on the availability, the supply and demand. If they can't get it somewhere else, they'll stay with who they are, because they don't want others to see them as a failure. They don't want to give up half of the ownings of the marriage, and they're just going down the same road, the same cycle that they went through with you. They're definitely not happier. I'll tell you that. It might seem like it. It's all a facade. It's a facade or getting caught up in the moment. So when you see these happy pictures, maybe they're in the middle of doing an activity, or maybe it's to show off, or to get back at the exes, where it's like, told you I didn't need you. And the ulterior motive on that, like, would you want to be the new supply where the reason for your lovely photo was to show the ex, haha, I don't need you, when obviously they still need a little bit of supply from you. So please be careful on what you post on Facebook, because they will try to destroy your life on any happiness you show them. They get very jealous over that. Even though they're not with you, they still want you to adore them. And it seems so weird how they are, because if you want somebody to adore you, usually you would think you would treat them nice. But it's that reverse psychology. They are so good at psychological games. They learn what works. The twists. It's like they break all the rules. There are rules on how to get along in society, and they just care about themselves. Like, the reason that we teach our kids certain things is so everybody, kind of has a fair chance at life. You take turns, you stand in line, you're polite, you don't just grab. There's reasons you do that, so everybody is, kind of treated equally, that nobody's better than each other. And that's how a symbiotic society can work. But with all these narcissists that are starting to come into society, it's destroying our world. It's destroying our lives. they go person to person to person and start snowballing society, falling into this narcissistic realm where the children are now narcissistic. The empathetic people are trying to overcompensate to make up for the person. They're walking on eggshells, which causes their child to be confused on what's reality. The empathetic parent or the narcissistic parent or two narcissistic parents. Now we're walking on eggshells. Do we need to walk on eggshells? So now the kid might not be bold, stand up for themselves, or they're bullied. And it's just this vicious cycle. So are they happier? What's going to happen to the kids? Are they going to have stepchildren now? How do they treat that stepchild? Are they going to be respected, or is the narcissist going to knock those kids down to get the buzz or the high off of controlling these kids? So they might act like they care about the kid, but if you watch the way that they word things, they can be really destructive. Let's say they're doing homework with the kid or showing attention, but they don't encourage the person, the child. They'll do little jabs, like, what are you, stupid? You can't get this? Let's work on it. You shouldn't be this dumb, or something like that, to where whatever word choice is, it's not like, I know you can do this. Let's get through this. It might take a couple of times, but I got faith in you. They'll do it the wrong way. And that's where it gets hurtful, because sometimes we are like, yeah, I'm kind of being dumb, I'm not getting it. But over time, it's layer upon layer upon layer upon layer, and it builds up, and it just gets too heavy for us, and it crushes us. It crushes our soul. So the narcissist, this new supply, or this new life, it's going to be cyclical as far as how happy they are. In the moment, they'll have happy moments. They will have happy moments where, you get lost. Just like if you were high or drunk, or you just escape, and you go to that place. That's what they're just going to, this place that isn't real. If you're high or drunk, that's not reality. That's something changing in your brain to where you're escaping reality. You don't even feel the same. And that's what the narcissist is doing, feeding off that supply to go to a place that is outside reality. But you can only do that for so long. And then you come back to reality. And that's where the narcissist's true feelings are. So they're not happier. They're going through the motions, they're escaping. And then when they get into a good place, they have to destroy it. They have to destroy it. They need chaos. And I just got an email from somebody today about the person left pretty much at the height of the relationship. That's what was going on with mine too. Right before a wedding, another one, he asked my dad to marry me. The height of the relationship, they back out. So just be careful with your interactions. No contact is the best way to go. Please comment below on what you feel. What makes you think that they're happier with the new supply? Just remember how they treated you. You were happy in the love bombing stage, but they didn't maintain it. How do they treat the people around them? Is it true, or is it for ego strokes? They might seem like they're great helpers, but it's just for the adoration or a network of friends they can show off that they're popular, but it's not because they really care about the people, or they expect something in return. Yeah, I'll mow your lawn, but you're gonna help me put on a roof. So they might do little things, but it's for ulterior motives. And the real question is, it's time for you to be happier, and take the time, maybe watch my grief video. Things get better. Things get better. You can stay in this ruminating stage, or you can let it go. Don't worry if they're happier with the new supply. Worry about how you can get back to who you are, because you were happy. You were happy before you met your narcissist, and you'll get there again. So please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.